Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Danny Taylor, co-owner of Vegan Proteins Online Coaching, and we're gonna do something a little bit different today. We are gonna walk through a menu together. Everybody goes out to eat from time to time, and even if you've been vegan for a long time like I have, you probably know how to order vegan in most places, but do you always know what the best thing on the menu to pick is for your goals? This is really challenging for a lot of people. I think first of all, just learning like how to order vegan when you go vegan at first, that's challenging. And then there's like this whole added layer of, okay, now I also am trying to like build muscle or lean out, like what's the best thing to order? And I thought it would be kind of fun to do a series of how I would order in X type of restaurant. So today, because I just got this idea on a Monday, and I was like, oh, we'll totally do a Chinese restaurant, but they're closed today. So I had to find a type of restaurant that was open today. So I figured we could check out our local Indian restaurant and go through that together. Now, I'm trying to deliberately to pick places right now that are not like particularly vegan friendly, just regular kind of run-of-the-mill, like this is a regular run-of-the-mill Indian restaurant. It's not a vegetarian Indian restaurant, although Indian cuisine is known for having lots of vegetarian options. It's just a regular Indian restaurant. Now, I know there's lots of different parts of India, but I'm hoping you get the gist. I don't live in a very vegan-friendly area. We don't have any vegan restaurants around us. So I'm usually either going to like an Italian place or a Mexican place or an Indian place or a Chinese place. None of these places like cater to vegans, and chances are probably good that you have these types of restaurants near you. This is probably a lot of times where your family ends up going, and you kind of have to make do with what's there. So I'm gonna walk you through my process and how I do that. So let's get into it. The first thing I do when I know I'm gonna go to a restaurant, especially if it's a new restaurant, is I'm gonna look at their menu online. So come with me, I'm gonna share my computer screen with you. So this is where we're gonna go. This is their website, it's fantastic. It's a great restaurant. I have been there before, so I'm not going into this menu blind. But the first thing I do is I'm gonna look at the menu here. So they've actually updated this since I last looked at their menu online. They now actually include like vegan in the legend, vegan friendly options available. They've never had this before, so that's really exciting. So, okay. The problem that I have with this particular Indian restaurant is that there is no overt protein option. Again, this is not like a particularly vegan friendly place. They don't have tofu, tempeh, seitan, anything like that. So even though you've heard me mention on this channel, I don't generally like to consider like beans as my protein because they really are like 60 to 70% carbohydrates. I think we're gonna lean into the beans on this one here. And some other considerations that I would keep in mind. So let's check out the soups and salads here. So I don't often get the soups here. So they have an Indian salad, a coconut soup. So when I see something that says coconut, I'm gonna assume that it's gonna be kind of high in fat. And then we have this mulligatawny soup. Let's see what that actually is. Okay. So, it's vegan because it's listed as vegan, but it normally has chicken, vegetables, apples, and rice. So it doesn't sound like that's particularly high in protein. So I think I would probably skip these particular soups and salads here. I mean, I guess you could get the salad if you wanted to, but I would not. So what do we have for vegan options here? There we go, I'll get my face out of the way. Vegetable pakora, delicious, right? But it's also battered and fried vegetables. So this is not gonna be a great option if you're working with limited calories. Now the batter is usually made out of like chickpeas, so that's nice. It does have a little bit of protein in there. Aloo tikki, these are the little potato kind of pancakes. Those are quite good. They're not like fried in a deep fryer, but they are kind of fried in a pan. So it's kind of a medium option. And then a samosa most people are familiar with. They're big sort of triangle pouches, pyramid shaped pouches with like mashed potatoes and peas, and the whole thing is deep fried. So again, not a great option there. Next, let's check out the Indian bread. So I have not tried all of these breads. True story about being an imperfect vegan. They once had a bread that had like cashews and raisins, and I absolutely loved it. And then one day somebody came over and told me that there was milk in it. That hadn't been the answer the first time I asked, but I appreciated them telling me, and I didn't get it again. So of these, crispy, anytime something says crispy in a menu, it usually means fried. So that's a good thing to keep in mind. I try to avoid too much fried food. Not only is it not very macro friendly, but also it doesn't agree with my stomach here. So you could get this paratha, and I assume that the vegan food options available would be they would make it without butter. So if you wanted bread and you sort of had the macros to spare here, you could do this one, or this one's probably a little bit smoky and this one comes vegan as is. Nothing here under the specialties. So vegetarian delights, gotta love this. Tons of vegetarian delights that are here. So rather than go through all of these one by one, I'm going to look for the ones that are bean based here. So this is cauliflower and potatoes. This one is peas and potatoes. Okay, peas. Peas are an okay option. Lentils. I'm confused because it says and cream here, but it also says that it's vegan. So if that was something that I wanted to get, this is something I would have to confirm with them is actually vegan, because the menu is a little bit confusing here. This one is made out of chickpeas, so this one probably has more protein in it than this one here, but these are both good options, and the reason is because lentils generally have more protein in them than chickpeas do. Or not generally, they do. But again, the cream there, little questioning it a little bit. This one is eggplant, and this one is vegetables in light spices, and the last one is okra. So I would definitely pick between these two. I would ask about this, see if they can do it without cream, make sure that's, what they're trying to imply here. If not, I would do the kabuli chana, which is honestly almost what I always get when I go there. And it comes with rice. So you have to remember that, does it say it on here? It doesn't say it, but they do come with rice. Most of the main dishes are gonna come with rice on the side, so you don't necessarily need to add an additional carbohydrate source to the meal. Let's see what else they have here. Probably not a whole lot down the rest of the menu. Okay, so they have different kinds of like specialty rices. So if you wanted to get that instead of the other rice, and you could swing it money-wise, you probably could do that. There's probably a little bit more oil in these here, but this one also has peas in it. So this would probably bump the protein content up a little bit without increasing the carbs, because peas are lower in carbs than rice. And it would also maybe increase the fat content just a little bit here. And then that's it for vegan options. So personally, if I were to go here for dinner tonight, which we are going to go here for dinner tonight, that is what I would do. I would probably, personally, I have a little bit more calories to work with, so maybe we would do this aloo tiki. It's just 2 pieces, so you can rest assured you're not gonna end up with a mound of food. So Giacomo and I would each both have one of those. Personally, I don't really do the bread very often anyway, so I would ask about the lentil dish, and then I would probably get the kabuli chana. So this is where I'm at right now, and I will let you know. I will take you with me tonight when we go there to show what we're actually gonna get. All right, so we're just about to head out. Actually, we're a little bit late. We should have left a few minutes ago, but we're about to head out to the restaurant. But I wanted to mention one more thing that I do before we go to a restaurant. One, I make sure that I plug in my food for the whole day. Everything I've already had, make sure it's in there. I do not like to restrict food before I go out to eat, but I do like to be mindful to not overdo it earlier in the day if I know I'm going out for dinner. So I will show you what my FitnessPal looks like right now, and then while we're in the car on the way there, I'm gonna pre-plug in what I think I'm going to have. This might change, but it's really helpful to give you an idea. Nobody wants to be shocked after they've eaten out at what they actually ate. Let's go. Okay, so we're at the restaurant we just ordered. They didn't even have the lentil dish, so I went with the kabuli chana, hot, with no cilantro. Giacomo tried to order something also hot. I stopped him, I saved him. He would not be able to handle it. And we also got a side of mixed pickles, which I love Indian pickles, and forgot that they had them. And we didn't do an appetizer because, show the table, because they serve this papadum, like they already serve it with the tamarind and the onion chutney. So we're gonna have that as an appetizer instead. So even though I already plugged stuff into my FitnessPal, what I plan to have now afterwards, I'll tweak it, but I still have a pretty good idea. This is gonna end up actually being lighter than what we originally ordered, and we got waters as well. Here's our kabuli chana, our rice, and the aloo gobi. So this looks to be about 1.5 cups, maybe 2 cups worth. And the rice also appears to be about 2 cups worth total. And I would say Giacomo's looks like it's maybe 2.5 cups worth total. Ooh, they just brought our mixed pickles, which I love these. I know it's ugly, but they're so good. Goodness. Okay, so I want to show you my plate. So this is about 1 cup's worth of this right here. I put that in there, and then that's about 1/2 cup of rice. And I don't know, 2 tablespoons of pickle. I'm gonna eat it, see how I feel, but I suspect that's probably gonna be ample for dinner. All right, so we just finished up. I still have this, so I'm gonna get that wrapped up to take home. Giacomo has quite a bit left over also, even though he's not doing this video with me. And since I always finish my meal faster than Giacomo, because I eat like an animal, it's a terrible habit. Of course, having burning hot food makes you eat faster. Anyway, I went to my FitnessPal and I updated what I thought I was gonna have to what I actually did have, and it was pretty close. The mango pickles were a little bit oilier than I thought they were gonna be, so I had to incorporate some oil into that. Everything else seemed pretty much on par with what I expected it to be. It was delicious. I didn't update my FitnessPal before I started doing this to reflect my actual goals. So with everything, that still kept me under 2,000 calories for the day. The meal did have 27-ish grams of protein in it. It's important to remember anytime you eat out and you're logging stuff in my FitnessPal, it's gonna be an estimate. It's all gonna be an estimate. I couldn't find this exact dish in my FitnessPal, but this is basically chana masala, and I was able to find a packaged chana masala that I'm familiar with, and I know it's similar to this in texture and viscosity. So I logged that instead. And I actually might have had a little bit less than I logged in. I do always try to overestimate a little bit when I plug stuff into my FitnessPal as well. So hopefully, guys, hopefully this is very helpful for you. Tell me what kind of restaurants you want to see next. Do you want to see like a super dieting meal? Do you want to see how to eat more calories? Do you want to see me go through and pick multiple options for different types of situations? I really hope you guys like this series because it's super fun for me, by the way, to get to go out to eat and show you things. So tell me what you want to see next, any kind of menu you want me to go through, and I will make it happen. If you like the video, don't forget to like the video, hit subscribe, hit the bell, all the things I'm supposed to tell you to do at the end of a video, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.